Good afternoon, class. Thank you. You can sit down. Today's lesson will look at the other two types of factorizing. The third one is grouping, and then the fourth one will be on factorizing quadratic trinomials. Okay, on grouping. To use grouping, you have to be able to recognize that you need to use grouping, and to do that there will always be 4 terms, usually 4 terms, sometimes 6. Like here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Now to do that, to be able to use grouping, you have to group the terms. So ax minus bx I have to group because I can see that there is a common factor of x. Then I have to group 2a and 2b because I can also see that there is a common factor of 2. Now, if you look at some of the maths textbooks, you will find that they actually have brackets, but I usually don't. They put brackets here and brackets here to note so that you know that those are the ones that you are grouping. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. So long as you see a common factor, then you take the common factor out, you're left with a minus b, and here 2a minus 2b. I always put that sign here, 2 and then a minus b. Okay, after that, we can now see that there is a common factor of a minus b. So we take that out, and then we'll be left with x plus 2. All right, the next one, ax and bx, there's also a common factor of x. I get a minus b, this one minus 2 times b minus a, not plus. The reason is if I multiply minus 2 by minus a, I have to get positive 2a, so it must be negative. Now, is a minus b the same as b minus a? Okay, those people who say yes, is a minus b same as b minus a? Nobody. So you are saying they are different. Okay, if they are different, how can we factorize? If they are different, how can we factorize? Or should we stop? All right, then we can still factorize. We have to make a little change. The first one, we leave the same, x times a minus b. If you find that this only happens when you're subtracting, it doesn't happen when there's addition, because if I had a plus b here, it's exactly the same as b plus a. For instance, 3 plus 2 is exactly the same as 2 plus 3, but 3 take away 2 is not the same as 2 take away 3. That's why they're different. Okay, so what I do then is I multiply by negative 1, and to do all I have to do is I change that to a positive. And then I rearrange to a minus b. Now, I haven't changed anything, because if I multiply minus 2 times b, I still get minus 2b. If I multiply positive 2 by minus b, I still get minus 2b. It's just that these two will be changed. This one will become 2a and then minus 2b, which doesn't change the expression. Okay, then now they are the same, so it's now going to be a minus b times x plus 2. Okay, I want you to very quickly try 3 and 4 using grouping. common factor is 4. This one instead of 2, because you still have 2 inside there. X squared minus a squared is not a minus x squared. This one is a difference of 2 squares, that one is a square, they're not the same. Finished? Something is wrong with example 4. Okay, we look at example number 3. Any answers? Lester? Mr. Mike.
X plus a plus 4 in one bracket, x minus a in another bracket.
Any others? X plus A plus 4 times X minus A. Any other answers? Nobody else has a different answer? Okay, we check. X squared minus A squared plus 4X plus 4A. All right, sometimes if the ones with the common factors are not together, you have to move them. So long as you don't change the sign. Okay? So like if you see X squared and 4X, you can move them closer to each other and then minus A squared and plus 4A. But let's see what happens when you do that. Okay, you will get X squared plus 4X and then minus A plus 4A, sorry, A squared. Now you get X plus 4, and then minus A times A minus 4. How many students got this? They want as far as this. Okay, and you will find that when you do this, you can't factorize anymore because X plus 4 is not the same as A minus 4. If that happens, listening, if that happens, that means you didn't group them together properly. So you have to go back again and see how you group them and then change the grouping. Clear? So if you did this, that means you're not supposed to group X squared and 4X, although they have a common factor, and minus A squared and 4A, because you're supposed to end up with only 2 sets of brackets. Usually 2 sets. Sometimes you can end up with 3. Okay, so the best thing to do is to go back again and look. Now, X squared minus A squared. We've seen that before. This is a difference of 2 squares. This one, 4X plus 4A, these two have a common factor of 4. So, X squared minus A squared is factorized as X plus A times X minus A. And then plus 4 times X plus A. Now we see that there is a common factor of X plus A. So if you have X, if you take out X plus A, which is a common factor here and here, you end up with X minus A plus 4. So X minus A plus, X minus A plus 4, which is the same as the answer that Lester gave us. X should be X minus A, plus A times X minus A plus 4. So only this one's right, X plus A times X minus A plus. Is it clear? Okay, for the second one, I'm not sure. I think there is a mistake somewhere. Okay, if we try and group 2A squared minus 2B, and then 4A squared minus 8B. Okay, we are going to get here 2, I get A squared minus B, and then this one plus 4 times A squared minus, this one is going to be 2B. So what I'm going to do is change this to 4. Okay, so it's 4 times A squared minus B. So we now have A squared minus B times, okay, 2 plus 4. But 2 plus 4 is 6. So you are going to have 6 times A squared minus B. Okay, any questions on grouping? No? Okay, sorry, it's a little bit untidy. I hope you can see. Okay, now we go on to our next method of factorizing, and then I'll give you an exercise on that. Please listening. Okay, we have to now learn how to factorize quadratic trinomials or quadratic expressions. They are specifically called quadratic trinomials because they have 3 terms. Okay, I've just got a little note here. The general form of a quadratic expression or a quadratic trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. Note, I also say here where a, b, and c are real numbers, and you should know what real numbers are from our previous unit. And a must never be equal to 0. Because if a is equal to 0, that will not exist, and the whole thing is not a quadratic anymore. You will just end up with bx plus c, which is not a quadratic. Okay, a quadratic expression, just disregard this one first and look at this one. A quadratic expression will always have the highest power, which is 2. X will always be raised to the power of 2. If x is raised to another power other than 2, that is no longer a quadratic expression, and you cannot factorize using this method. Okay, so now we go on to factorizing quadratics where a is equal to 1. Okay, a is the coefficient of x squared. We know what coefficients are from our previous lessons. B is the coefficient of x. This number represents a constant, which means that there will be no pronumeral attached to it. It will be a number on its own. So A always represents the coefficient of x squared, B always represents the coefficient of x, and C always represents the constant, which is a number on its own. Okay, specifically what we are looking at today is factorizing quadratics where A is equal to 1, which means the coefficient of x squared must be 1. Are you listening? Okay, now, for instance, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 expressions here. X squared plus 7x plus 10. A is 1, B is 7, C is 10. Clear? Okay. The rule is I have to find 2 numbers. When I multiply, I will get 10. 2 factors of 10. When I add them or I subtract, usually we use the sum. The sum of those 2 factors will give me the coefficient of the middle term, which is 7. So 2 numbers, when I multiply, I get 10. The sum is 7. What are they? Kila?
5 and 2.
5 and 2. So this one is factorized as x plus 2 times x plus 5. Excuse me. All right, 2 factors of 10, that will give 7, 2, and 5. Okay, next one, x squared minus 7x plus 10. This time I still get a positive 10, but then the sum will give me negative 7. Kyle, what do you think? Okay, negative 2 and negative 5. Very good. X minus 2 times x minus 5. Next one, x squared minus 3x minus 10. Tamaku.
negative 5, positive 2.
Did you use the mic? Is it on?
Negative 5 and positive 2.
He says negative 5 and positive 2. You all agree? Yes, okay. X plus 2 times x minus 5. Well done. Next one, x squared plus 3x minus 10. Livingston? You are factorizing this.
Plus 5 minus 2.
All right, x plus 5 times x minus 2. Okay, remember we used only two factors. They're all factors of 10. To be able to factorize this type quickly, you also have to note when the bigger number is positive and when it becomes a negative. Here, two positive, we've got positive and positive. Here, two negatives, positive and a negative. Here, plus 2, the smaller number is positive, the bigger number is negative. We've got two minus signs. And here, bigger number is positive, smaller one is negative. We've got a positive and a negative. Now, next one. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to do this in exercise book. You are going to do this mentally, quickly. I'm trying to get you to learn to get the factors quickly and the sum. So, Patrick, you have the privilege of doing the first one for us. A squared plus 9a plus 20. Factorize it.
8 plus 4, 1 bracket, a plus 5.
Okay, a plus 4 times a plus 5. Garonamo? P squared plus 22p plus 120. Stand up.
P plus 12, P plus 11.
12 and 11, don't give me 120.
P plus 10.
Okay, p plus 10 times p plus 12. 12 and 10 gives 22. When you multiply, you get 120. Okay, number 3, Raylene. Y squared minus 2y minus 99.
Y minus 11 in one bracket and y plus 9.
Okay, y minus 11 times y plus 9. Two factors of negative 99, that will give negative 2. Minus 9, sorry, plus 9 minus 11 will give minus 2. Okay, number 4, Agnes.
R plus 7 multiplied by R minus 4.
Okay, r plus 7 times r minus 4. Good. Ponrele, number 5.
N minus 2 times n minus 9.
Good. N minus 2 times n minus 9. Number 6. You just have to attach one letter to the to one of the numbers. The two letters here, y and z. So you still do the same, two factors of 24, that will give you 10. But you are attaching a letter to it.
Y plus 6z plus in brackets time y plus 4z.
Very good. Y plus 6z times y plus 4z. Okay. Well done. Number 7. Peter.
B plus 2a in one bracket and b minus 5a in another bracket.
Good. All right, for homework, you have 2 pieces of homework or 2 sets. You've got to do questions A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H on grouping, and then a very short one on factorizing quadratics. Okay, so the keyword to the pilot teacher is quadratics. Good afternoon, class. Thank you. You can go.